Melissa Lee.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. It's a great pleasure to participate in this general debate, and I begin by saying how disappointed I am at the contribution of the member who just sat down. I expected Mr. Parker's contribution to be a little bit more focused on the TPP, considering the fact that he is a proponent of free trade agreement. And sir, as previous speakers have actually said, this TPP is a historical event for New Zealand. I mean, bringing together 1/3 of the world's, it's 40% of the economy, 800 million people. The market is humongous for a tiny country at the bottom of the South Pacific, sir. And that is following a major deal with my former motherland, Korea, which the free trade agreement with Korea was signed earlier this year in March, sir, which I have to congratulate the Minister of Trade, Tim Grosser. I had the pleasure of being there at the signing. And what that free trade with my motherland actually brings is a total of $229 million a year in savings in duties alone, sir. And what happened in Korea was that New Zealand manufacturers who were exporting New Zealand products, whether it was actually wine, cheese, milk, all agricultural products, they were paying in excess of 187% in duty for some. Some ranged from 36%, I think it was, for some of the products. I think it was for cheese, 89% on butter and milk powder. I mean, it was a major disappointment when a new baby food manufacturer in Korea wanted to import New Zealand baby, milk powders, but they actually found that their deal in Australia was much, much better because they could access those products for much cheaper. And so not signing a deal with Korea, it would have actually meant that New Zealand manufacturers, New Zealand producers could not compete with their counterparts. Those other countries who already had an FTA, free trade agreement with Korea. And so this TPP deal is also another thing. We had to be part of the deal, because if we did not sign the deal, we would have been left behind. Our producers could not access those markets. Our producers could not access those money. These wealthy countries who are willing to spend a fortune on the proteins that we actually produce, and we do such a great job. Sir, New Zealand and Korea, after signing the free trade agreement, we have actually ratified our FTA, but Korea has yet to do so. And the agreement is that they shall do it by the end of this year. And I have an opportunity to visit my motherland next week, and I shall be impressing upon the Korean counterparts that they have to actually get on with it. But, it is immediately possible. $65 million will come off in the first year. And if they, in fact, ratify it by the end of the year, January 1, 2016, becomes year 2, and that is the benefit that only New Zealand producers will actually take great benefit from, because it's a humongous savings immediately, sir. Sir, the FTAs, the TPP that this government has actually signed with our partners is something to be celebrating, by not just this government, not just this parliament, but all of New Zealand, sir, because it actually means that it is the growth of this country's economy, growth of New Zealand as a whole nation. It means we have better standard of living, we have better incomes, and I am very proud to stand on this side of the House to say we are doing our very best, and shame on the opposition for opposing, what it seems like it's an opposition to free trade agreements. And I'm believing that they will probably come to party and say yes and celebrate the TPP as well. Thank you, sir.
Julianne Genter.